Scorpio, out of nowhere, a message will change everything this weekend. Your phone will ring, or vibrate, or light up with an unexpected notification. And in that second, that brief moment between seeing there's a message and opening it to read, your heart will race because some deep part of you already knows, already recognizes the energy of it even before processing the words. This weekend brings a communication that will completely reorganize your reality. And no, I'm not talking about just any message. I'm talking about the message, the one you stopped expecting, the one that part of you no longer believes can come, the one that will prove the universe was working behind the scenes the whole time while you thought nothing was happening. Out of nowhere, that's exactly how it's going to be. Without warning, without preparation, without that crescendo of events that normally heralds important changes. Simply an ordinary notification on an ordinary day, carrying extraordinary words that will split your life in two, before this message and after it. And the most intense part, you won't be prepared. Nobody is prepared when the universe finally decides to deliver what it's been withholding. But Scorpio, you don't need to be prepared. You just need to be willing to believe in the impossible when it manifests on your phone screen. Do you feel it right now as you read? That tension in your chest, that strange anticipation mixed with defensive skepticism. This isn't ordinary anxiety. It's your Scorpio intuition already detecting the energetic waves of this message that hasn't even been sent yet, but already exists in potential, just waiting for the exact moment to materialize. Can you feel how something is different this weekend, even without knowing exactly what? Let me tell you what's really happening. There's someone thinking about you right now, not in the casual sense of, oh, I remembered so-and-so, but in the visceral sense of, I need to talk to this person. They're looking at your contact name, typing and deleting messages, feeling a growing urgency that they don't fully understand themselves. This person has something to tell you. It could be an apology that took months to gather the courage to offer. It could be a confession of feelings that were being suppressed. It could be a proposal that will change your professional direction. It could be information you need to know. It could simply be, I was wrong and you were right. But regardless of the specific words, the essence of this message is this: recognition. You will be seen, truly seen, by someone who previously looked at you but didn't see who you really are. And this recognition will validate things you've questioned about yourself. It will confirm intuitions you had but dismissed as paranoia. It will prove that your perception of a given situation was absolutely correct, even when they tried to convince you otherwise. Do you think everything is under control? But the universe has other plans for you. This weekend, a message, unexpected, direct, and full of impact, will change everything. It could come from someone from the past. It could be a confession or a revelation that will force you to look at everything with different eyes. And when that message arrives, nothing will ever be the same again. The stars activate their house of communication, reunions, and hidden truths. This means that something was stopped, back in full force. This message could come from someone you haven't seen in a long time, a person you thought you'd never contact again, or even an unexpected source revealing something that changes the course of your emotional life. Scorpio, you are deep. You feel before you understand. And when that message arrives, your intuition will vibrate. You will know that it's not a coincidence, it's a sign. And whatever you do from there, it will define the next steps of your destiny. The universe is preparing an emotional trigger. This message may open a cycle of reconciliation, a necessary closure, or a conversation that brings healing and liberation. You might feel a flutter in your stomach before the notification appears, a name that resurfaces in your thoughts for no reason, or even a dream about someone specific, followed by a real message. Scorpio, this is not a simple message. It is a turning point. This message is meant to test your emotions, your maturity, your heart, and also to show you that what seemed to be over still has something to say. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November 2nd, this message comes from someone from your romantic past. Someone who lost you and has spent all this time gradually realizing the magnitude of their mistake. This weekend, the realization finally reaches an unbearable point, and they will break the silence. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the message is professional or related to money. An opportunity that seemed lost is resurfacing through an unexpected invitation. And for those born between November 13th and 21st, the communication comes from a family or friendship context. Someone finally having the courage to be honest about something that has changed or needs to change. But here's what all Scorpios need to understand. This message doesn't come because you did something to deserve it. It comes because you stopped chasing it. It comes because you finally let go, because you reached that point of genuine peace where you were okay with or without it. And it's precisely when you stop energetically begging for closure, recognition, or a response that the universe delivers all of this out of the blue, as if it had been testing to see if you truly didn't need it anymore, so you could then freely give it. Out of nowhere, these two words carry a profound meaning. It means you won't see it, that there will be no prior clues, that it will catch you completely off guard. Maybe you'll be doing something completely mundane, washing dishes, stuck in traffic, watching TV, waking up in the morning, and then, without ceremony, without preparation, your phone will show you words you've waited so long for that you'd given up waiting. And here's where it gets interesting. Your first reaction will be disbelief. You'll reread it 3, 4, 5 times. You'll look for traps, for hidden intentions, for hidden manipulations. Because you, Scorpio, have been trained by pain not to easily trust pretty words, you've developed layers of skepticism as protection, and that protection will be challenged when this message arrives. You'll need to choose between your self-preservation instinct that screams, "It's a trap," and your deep intuition that whispers, "This is real." And how will you know which voice to listen to? You'll feel it in your body. Authentic messages carry a different energetic signature than manipulations. Your body knows the difference. If, when you read, you feel an expansion in your chest, a deep relief, as if something tight has finally loosened, it's real. If you feel contraction, tension, that feeling of, "I need to prove something," then yes, be suspicious. But I have a strong feeling that the message coming to you this weekend will carry the signature of authenticity. The message will change everything, but not in the way you imagine. You might think it will change you because it will bring back something or someone you lost, or because it will open a door that was closed. And maybe it will do that, yes. But the most profound change will be internal. It will be in how you see yourself, in the confidence you had lost about your own worth, in the confirmation that you weren't crazy when you felt what you felt or saw what you saw, in the validation that you deserved better all along and weren't too demanding or difficult as they tried to make you believe. This weekend will redefine your personal narrative. It will take stories you've told yourself, "I always choose wrong. People always disappoint me. I'm not important enough for them to choose to stay," and write a new chapter that contradicts all those false truths. Because when someone comes back, when someone acknowledges you, when someone finally sees you, it challenges all the stories of unworthiness you've built. But Scorpio, here's what's crucial. The message will change everything, but you're not obligated to let it change everything back to how it was before. You can receive the recognition, feel the validation, absorb the confirmation that you were right about everything, and still choose not to reopen doors you've already locked. Because sometimes the universe gives you closure disguised as a possible new beginning. It gives you the confirmation you needed exactly when you no longer need it to be happy. And that's where your power of choice comes in. When the message arrives, you'll have to decide, does this serve my highest good right now, or is it just the universe giving me what I begged for before, but no longer need? Sometimes the answer is yes, receiving it back. Sometimes the answer is, thank you for the confirmation, but I've already moved on, and both are equally powerful. The important thing is that for the first time, you are choosing, not being chosen or rejected. You are actively choosing what serves you and what no longer serves you. The message will likely arrive when you're feeling strong, when you're happy, when you least expect it because you finally stopped compulsively checking if the person has contacted you. The universe has a divine sense of irony. It delivers exactly when you let go, when you stop clenching tightly and open your hand. That's when the things that were meant to be yours fall gently into your palm. In the days leading up to this weekend, you may feel a strange restlessness, an anticipation without apparent cause. Perhaps more vivid dreams, perhaps random thoughts about the person from whom the message will come. This is not a coincidence. It is energetic communication happening before physical communication. You are already reconnecting on subtle levels before the words are even typed. And when it finally arrives, when you see that name appear on the screen, take a breath before opening it. Acknowledge the magnitude of the moment. This is one of those rare instants in life where you feel the axis of your reality shifting in real time, where the impossible becomes possible, where what was given up for lost is recovered. Honor this moment. Allow yourself to feel everything. The surprise, the shock, the validation, the confusion about what it all means, even the anger if it arises from having waited so long. But then, after feeling everything, pause before responding. Not because of a manipulative, making them wait strategy, but because you need to process this away from the adrenaline of the moment. You need to consult not only your heart, which may be racing, but also your wisdom, which knows the whole story. You need to ask the version of yourself that cried, that felt rejected, that worked hard to rebuild yourself. What do you need me to do with this? The message might come in the form of a long text full of explanations, or it could be surprisingly simple. I've been thinking about you, or can we talk? Regardless of the form, it will carry weight. It will carry months of silence condensed into a few lines. And you, the recipient of this long-awaited communication, have the right to take as much time as you need to respond, or even not to respond if you decide that's the healthiest response. But here's what I believe will happen. You will respond, because you, Scorpio, are many things, but being cowardly with authentic communication isn't one of them. You will respond, but from a completely different position than you would have responded months ago. You will respond as someone who no longer needs that to survive, as someone who is fine regardless of the outcome, and that difference will be palpable in your words. It will completely change the dynamic. The message will change everything, because it will give you back something you didn't know you had lost. Your faith that things can work out, that people can evolve, that silences can eventually be broken, that real connections don't die easily, they just hibernate, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And even if you don't choose to fully open the door to that person, the simple fact of knowing that they finally saw you, finally understood, finally got there, that heals something deep. This weekend marks a before and after. Before, you were in the category of those who waited and never received. And after this message, you will be in the category of those who were patient and were rewarded. And that changes your narrative about hope, about deserving, about how the universe works. It changes your willingness to trust the process even when you don't see evidence of it working. Scorpio, I also need to prepare you for the possibility that the message might come but not be exactly what you imagined. Maybe it won't be the elaborate apology you rehearsed receiving. Maybe it won't be the declaration of love you fantasized about. Maybe it will be simpler, more human, more imperfect than your expectations. And you'll have to decide if you can accept the real version instead of the idealized one. If you can honor the effort it took for that person to break the silence, even if the words aren't perfect. Because here's the truth. Nobody comes back. Nobody speaks up. Nobody breaks months of silence lightly. It requires an immense amount of courage. It requires overcoming pride, fear of rejection, shame of having been wrong. So if the message comes, even if imperfect, acknowledge the courage it took to send it. You don't need to forgive instantly or embrace back immediately, but you can acknowledge the vulnerability that is being offered. The change this message brings won't be instantaneous in terms of external circumstances. It's not that everything magically fixes itself over the weekend. It's that the first piece of a new pattern falls into place. It's that stagnant energy finally begins to move. It's that a cycle can finally begin to close or restart, depending on what you choose. And from this initial movement, everything begins to unfold. So this weekend, keep your phone close by. Not in an anxious, compulsive checking way, but in a calm availability of someone who knows that when it's meant to be, it will be. Don't force anything. Don't try to make the message happen by sending signals or indirect messages. If it's meant to come out of nowhere, let it come out of nowhere. Your part is simply to be receptive when it arrives. And when it arrives, remember, you are no longer who you were when you started waiting for this. You've grown, you've evolved, you've become stronger, so you don't need to respond from the position of someone who was desperate for it. You can respond from the position of someone who is okay, but is curious about what this means. From the position of someone who deserves explanations and is willing to listen, but not necessarily obligated to accept everything back as it was. This weekend is yours, Scorpio. Your moment of validation, your energetic game changer, see, I knew there was something real there. I wasn't imagining things. I was important, yes. Receive this as the gift that it is. Don't let your protective skepticism steal the sweetness of this moment. You can be careful and still allow yourself to feel the victory of having been remembered, sought after, valued. The challenge will be control the impulse. You can want to respond right away, reopening feelings that seem to have been I am creating, or even consider going back on decisions that cost you dearly. But calm down. This message could be the start of a reconnection or the last piece of an emotional puzzle. You need clarity to understand, did this message come to start over or to end things once and for all? The opportunity here is powerful, to rewrite history with more awareness, to put an end to things peacefully, or to reconnect with someone who is now ready to be real. But most importantly, don't ignore what you feel. Scorpio, you have a gift for sensing the truth between the lines. Read beyond the words. Pay attention to the tone, the timing, the intention. You are not receiving this message by chance. She is the answer. She is a test. She is key. When that message arrives, you'll freeze for a second, and then everything will make sense. Perhaps it is an apology, a statement, I need to talk to you that carries more weight than it seems. And from there, you will no longer be able to pretend that nothing has changed. This message could open the door to a love that seemed lost, bring an answer you've been waiting for a long time, or show that your decision to walk away was more right than you imagined. Scorpio, it's not about what the other person will say. It's about what you're going to do with that truth. The message can change everything, or just confirm that you've already changed. And you, Scorpio, have you ever felt that something is about to happen out of nowhere? Comment below if your intuition has already picked up on this sign. Like, share, and subscribe. Why, sometimes, a simple message brings the answer your soul has been silently waiting for a long time. If this message resonated with you and you feel that yes, it's about you, share in the comments simply, I am ready to receive. The 3 words that mark your openness to the universe, delivering what it has been holding back. That affirms that you are emotionally prepared to process whatever comes. That declares that you trust the process even without understanding all the details yet. Subscribe to the channel now, because after this message arrives, I'll be bringing specific content on how to respond in an empowered way, how to navigate the conversation that follows the initial message, How to discern if what's being offered is genuine or just another manipulation. How to protect yourself while remaining open. Turn on notifications so you don't miss these crucial guidelines. This is your weekend of change, Scorpio. The message is coming out of nowhere, like all the most important things in life, not because you forced it, not because you manipulated it, but because you deserved it, because you waited, because you remained true to yourself even in silence. And now the universe is adjusting reality to reflect your worth. Trust, breathe, receive.